Hello everyone, my name is Okpolo Ashedupe and from Nigeria. I'm going to be debating on the topic: should African countries adopt genetically modified organisms to enhance agricultural productivity, or should they focus on indigenous farming practices to ensure food security and environmental sustainability? With me, it's Benedicto Jagadi from Tanzania, and we are part of the Affirmative group. Yeah, so a brief introduction. Yeah, genetically modified organisms, plants, it could be animal or microorganisms whose genetic materials has been altered in ways that do not occur naturally through mating or natural recombination. That's where you see genetic engineering coming into play, which involves directly modifying an organism, such as such as the DNA's organism. So the genetically modified organism offers a promising solution to the numerous challenges facing agriculture in most sub-Saharan countries of Africa, and with the potential to boost crop yields and lower production costs. Yeah, that's and also introduction part of the introduction is still current agricultural practices are insufficient enough. Yeah, when you look at the normal practices, the old way of farming, and all this, when it's not sufficient to feed the whole world, and to address global food security, malnutrition, and also together with hunger. So, according to recent studies, a staggering of 17.2% of the world's population lacks access to adequate and nutritious food, where you see people dying of hunger, most especially in Asia and also in Africa, highlighting need for which brings us to the fact of highlighting the need of innovative solutions whereby genetic modified organisms will be will help solve that kind of problem. Our opening statement: the limited understanding of genetic modification system among policymakers and the public hinders the development and implementation of effective biosafety policies and regulations. Also, we raising awareness will help with the fundamentals, and also help uh, will help inform decision, which is very crucial when it comes to science and research. Given the numerous benefits of genetically modified crops, it will be unwise to dismiss this potential, and therefore African countries should adopt genetically modified organisms in order to enhance agricultural productivity, which is my stance for the debate. Yeah, so the first constructive argument: genetically modified organisms helps in increasing crop production. Uh, there is more production within a limited time, and reduces poverty and food scarcity. So, genetically modified organisms can be engineered to resist pest diseases or environmental stress, which helps to lead to high productivity, as I mentioned earlier, and more reliable produce. Yeah, for example, we have BT cotton, whereby the Bacillus thuringiensis is being introduced to the particular crop. The particular gene, BT gene, is inserted into the crop, and the crop, if the crop resist the pest, and it helps, it helps it to uh, it helps it to be durable, and also not durable really, but it helps it to withstand any challenge, any environmental stress, or attack from any other organism. So BT cotton is a typical example, and this is This is an engineered product, and it is produced from this toxin, the organism Thuringiensis bacterium, which makes the plant resistant to certain pests, like the cotton bollworm. Yeah, so this reduces the need of chemical pesticide and help increase crop yield. Which brings me to the second point, pest resistance. So it's many genetically modified organism crops are designed to be resistant to specific insects or pests, reducing the needs for chemical such as the herbicide, the pesticide, and the likes of it, and promoting environmental friendly farming practices. For example, we have the Roundup Road Ready soybeans, which is modified to be resistant to the herbicide glyphosate, allowing farmers to control weeds more effectively without harming the crops. This helps improve yields and also reduce the need for tilling, for causing for disturbing the soil, which can harm the soil's earth and helps makes it deteriorate, as we all know. And also, which brings me to the next point. Yeah, it also helps in enhancing the nutritional content of the produce, the crop. So genetically modification can be used to increase the levels of essential nutrients in crops. What are the essential nutrients? We have the vitamins, the minerals, the proteins. These are essential for the growth of the crops, improving food security and health outcomes. So once these nutrients are being exposed to these crops, to this on a particular level, they they withstand and it's all sorts of stunt growing, and also all sorts of the crop not being big enough or having maximum nutrients. So it makes it stunted, and you have different kinds of height and width of the crop. Yeah. So in a minimal level. Yeah. So example, we have the golden rice, which is engineered to produce high level of provitamin A. Yeah, which is another insight to what I just explained, which is not just the outer part of the crop, also the what the consumers stands to gain, which is in nutrient. For example, the provitamin A, beta carotene, which is actually a very good nutrient for humans. Yeah. So the next one is they help to reduce environmental impact. Yeah. So some genetically modified organisms, such as the BT corn, can require fewer chemical inputs like pesticide and herbicide, and less water, contributing to more sustainable agricultural practice, which reduce cost and manpower, and also you know still have the quantity at large. Yeah. And the next point, we have the resistance to herbicide. Resistance to herbicide. Just to buttress on the earlier point also. Genetically modified organisms are engineered to tolerate herbicide. Yeah, allowing farmers to manage weeds more effectively without harming the crops. Yeah. So, for example, we have another one, which is rainbow papaya. This also has been genetically modified to resist the ring spot virus, which threatened the Hawaiian papaya industry. And also, the last one, I think this is the last point. Yeah. So it helps to improve the food shelf life. A particular crop tends to spend more time before it deteriorates or it spoils. Yeah. So genetic modification can be used to extend the shelf life of fruits, vegetables, reducing food waste, for example. So Arctic, for example, we have the Arctic apples. These apples are genetically modified to resist browning when cut or bruised. So this results in less food wastage and a longer shelf life, making them more appealing for consumers and suppliers alike. So you can see with these 6 points, 6 constructive arguments, it's enough to convince you that genetically modified organisms are the best and gives makes the farmer happy and the consumers happy. Yeah. So we briefly want to look at a case study on India, which is part of Asia. India is one of the world's largest agricultural producers. We all know that in 2022, India faced a significant challenge on food security, crop disease, and unpredictable weather pattern. Traditionally, methods of pest control using chemical pesticides were not only expensive during that time, but also they had harmful environmental and health impact to the community. Yeah, to the agri community and the and the community at large. So India decided to use what the genetically modified BT cotton that contained gene from the bacterium, as earlier mentioned, that make cotton plant resistant to bollworm infestation. Yeah. So that's our case study, and now we are going to the rebuttal. So for the first rebuttal, adaptability to local conditions. African countries should, accept these new technologies because the Europe, the Americans, and all other continents have accepted this, and they are moving at a faster pace, and they are really getting the benefit, and it's not as if it's killing everyone as the wrong notion. Yeah. So it's actually good. So we should accept the technology, and we should not continue with our indigenous farming because it has a lot of potential benefits. If we continue with the indigenous farming alone, then poverty might wipe us all out. Yeah. So failure to do this, failure to incorporate genetically modified organisms will lead to low income and also death. Yeah, from poverty or lack of food, lack of food insecurity, lack of food security. Yeah. So the second point is preservation of soil and ecosystem. So for modern agricultural practices, including the use of synthetic fertilizers and conservation tillage, which can help to promote soil conservation and environmental sustainability. Yeah. So additionally, genetically modified crops can be engineered to be more resilient to environmental stress, reducing the need for the tillage and other soil disrupting practices. Yeah, so there's no need for shift cultivating. There's no need for all the trying to leave the land for a period of time for to be fertilized, or trying to disturb the soil itself using pesticides and herbicides just to control the pest. So instead of that, it's better we incorporate the modern agricultural practice, which is the genetically modified organisms. Yeah. So cost effectiveness and accessibility. Modern agricultural technologies can be designed to be more accessible and affordable for small scale farmers. For example, some companies are developing genetically modified crops that are specifically tailored to the needs of small scale farmers. So instead of the indigenous farming practice, this is actually makes work easier and also helps you to save your money. For the fourth point, cultural relevance and community empowerment. The idea that promoting indigenous farming practice will automatically empower rural communities is overly simplistic. In reality, rural communities may face complex challenges such as lack of access to market, credit, money, loans, and technology. That cannot be addressed solely through the promotion of what indigenous practice. So it's actually better we we just allow modern agricultural technologies because of this disparities. And once that is incorporated, life is easier. And for the last rebuttal, climate mitigation and biodiversity conservation. So while indigenous practices may align with regenerative agricultural principles and prioritize biodiversity, their ability to mitigate climate change and conserve biodiversity may be limited by factors such as scale, the size of production, the productivity, and the land use pressures. For example, agroforestry systems, while it's beneficial for carbon storage and biodiversity, it may not be sufficient to meet the food demands of a growing population, especially the African community, especially the African race. So that's the end of that. So in closing, just to finish up my argument, Africa needs to establish robust biosafety regulations, invest in biotechnology infrastructure, and also provide necessary resources to support its development. Current policy and institutional challenge hinder agricultural productivity, especially in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. We have policies going against hindering the productivity of the African community, leading to food storage, economic hardship, and widespread vulnerability to hunger and malnutrition. There's also famine in the land, and so however, adopting genetically modified technology can address these challenges, enhancing agricultural productivity and food security. Genetically modified technology, genetically modified crops can ensure food availability and at the shortest time, and it makes it accessible, and it makes it also not costly. So it helps to increase farmers' income and stimulate economic growth. Raising awareness and promoting genetic literacy among policymakers and the public is also crucial in dispelling misconceptions about genetically modified organisms and fostering a more informed attitude. So overall, genetically modified organisms have the potential to address global challenges related to food security, sustainability, and environmental impact, and hence African countries should adopt genetically modified organisms in order to enhance agricultural productivity. These are our reference. Thank you. If you have any question, thank you again.